as much as humanly possible. So just give me a second. So today we will be talking about the conference and workforce LMS that Dr. Taborn alluded to. Well, not even, it wasn't an illusion. He talked in depth about the LMS on the previous meeting. We will also be discussing the subcommittee reports with Dr. Porter, Mr. Arowolo, myself, and of course, Dr. Farmer. And we will also be talking about Q4 priorities as well as next steps. And then we will adjourn our meeting. So before we get started, does anyone have any questions? Would anyone like to introduce yourselves? I think I see a couple of new faces, but no pressure. If you just want to be a fly on the wall, that's also perfectly acceptable.
David, why don't we just go ahead and do it anyway? I'm Tyrone Taborn, CEO of CCG, and I work for all of you, and I particularly work for the future of our youth.
I guess I'll go next. My name is David Jones, and I'm the CEO of Lumen Energy, and we are the largest smart grid operators that is minority owned in America. Would anyone else like to introduce themselves? Okay, please.
Yeah, I'm Vic Brown. I'm a CTO of Camelot Secure, which is a division of DigiFlight. I'm also the CEO of W3 Nebula Technology, which focus on AI capabilities. Glad to be here. I'm walking, so I'm not on camera, but I am listening. Thank you.
But I think what you forgot to say is you're distinguished engineer, IBM, the work you did there, and of Vic, you know, you're talking about what you did now, but just mention very quickly your background at IBM, where you were the senior, one of the most senior engineers there.
Yeah. Thanks, Tyrone. Yeah, I was I still retain that, even though it's emeritus. IBM distinguished engineer, and I was also IBM CTO for federal and public sector, responsible for all of the federal and public sector technology as well as the intelligence agencies. So, yeah, I've done a lot since my modern day technology leader award back in 2005. But it's been a fun ride, and it's been great. It's been great seeing the growth. It really has. Thank you.
What he's referring to is an award he received at Black Engineer of the Year, and I'll leave it at that. Hey, David, listen, I know you're chairing the meeting, but you just may want to call out people's names to keep this going.
Sure. I see a new face, so if Chris Motz, if I don't embarrass you too
David,
much,
or do we lose me?
Yeah, thank you, Dave. Chris Motz, I'm the Vice President of Global Workforce Solutions and Chief Partnerships Officer at University of Maryland Global Campus. So we're very impressed with the work that this group has done so far, and this is our first foray with you all, but happy to be here and represent the university.
Welcome, Chris.
Mr. Keith Scott, one of my favorite people on earth. Would you mind doing an intro?
Hi, my name is Keith Scott. I'm the Northeast Regional Vice President for National BDPA, based here in Maryland. A former Air Force veteran on the Workforce Committee, working with Kunle and Mario.
Hey, Keith, I mean, I think you real quickly, just tell people what your organization is, how many chapters you have across the country, what a big deal you guys are. I mean, everybody doesn't know it, okay?
Okay. So BDPA, formerly Black Data Processors Associates, was founded out of Philly in 1975, just like NSBE and Black MBAs, Black attorneys, etc. We're celebrating our 51st year. We have about 30 chapters currently nationwide, and we actually have academies to SITES program, Student IT Education and Scholarship Program, where we have academies in coding, robotics, gaming, esports. We just added drone. We're adding cybersecurity, AI, and other academies. And most of our chapters in underserved communities across the country. And we are training students 7th to 12th grade, and they compete in our high school computer competitions and those different academies. And we have regional conferences in June, and then we have our national conference, which was just hosted last month in Indianapolis, where all 30 chapters come together and they compete for bringing the trophy to their cities. We had a great conference in Indianapolis just recently, and all of our chapters had their own mission partners. So every city had their own mission partners. In the DMV, where I'm located, it's Department of War, or former Department of Defense. So all those agencies and companies that support that infrastructure are our champions. And we actually get our students, when they're in high school, internships with our mission partners. So a lot of our students go to work for the intelligence community and DoD entities, and we get them security clearances when they're juniors. So when they're seniors, they're actually working in those positions, as well as the Lockheed Martins and the Boeings and the Amazons of the world. We're also trying to establish a partnership with UMGC, working with Dr. Calvin Noble. Little different because of the way you guys are structured, but we're working through that as well.
So you guys understand that nobody's on these calls by accident. I know, Keith, you know me long enough to know. I want to make just a quick announcement that we signed an agreement with his association that all of their chapters will be creating digital cities on STEM City USA. And now with our LMS, our learning platform, as you know, STEM City is a digital twin. That's really what it is. And that means that we can bring all of this knowledge. So when one ant receives knowledge, all of the ants are able to receive the knowledge. So our platform, what we've created, is not only a force multiplier, but it's getting all of that data and all of this good work on a scalable level that we've already built with STEM City USA. And now with our learning model, which is free, we're giving it to everybody at no cost because we want your content. We want you to teach on the platform, and we don't want you to have to spend, thousands and thousands of dollars, with Blackboard or Moodle and other places when in fact we've already developed it. I'm gonna try to keep my mouth closed after this, but that's difficult for me.
Thank you very much, Doc. Alrighty, so moving on swiftly, I do see the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Matt Bowman has joined us. Would you mind sharing a quick intro about yourself?
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you, Brother Jones. My name is Matt Bowman. I spent balance of my career flying jets off of aircraft carriers, and then retired from the Navy as the acting Chief Diversity Officer. So in that capacity, responsible for about 375,000 active duty and about the same amount of reservist and civilian contractors. I am now the BEA CCG Government and Military Affairs Lead. And in this role, over the last now 13 years, we've crafted partnerships with the National Naval Officers Association, the ROCs Incorporated, which is the Army's officer organization, the Navy's officers organization, the Department of the Navy's officer organization, the Coast Guard's officer organization, and the Department of the Air Force Officers Association. And so we leverage 13 original founders who are 13 retired admirals and generals, all for the singular purpose of promoting STEM and promoting CCG, promoting workforce development, AI, and cybersecurity. We have a number of things that I'm involved with. Most recently, the briefing room, where we interview living legends. Last week, we had Lieutenant General Russell Honore, the Raging Cajun, the hero of Katrina. And so that's what I do. So I work for Doc. Let's see if it comes back on. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that is what I do, and I'm here to help.
Quan, can we drop in Matt's show that I am, quote unquote, the co-host of, but I seldom show up? His last interview with General Honore was absolute. Man, that was an incredible. I see Keith shaking his head. It was
It was
absolutely
phenomenal. I have
incredible.
to say,
Wasn't it?
it was phenomenal.
It was, I mean, man, oh man, to listen to I mean, that was an incredible show that took place. So if we can drop that into chat. And by the way, David, I see Ken Washington,
Mhm.
Dr. Ken Washington just dropped in,
Yeah,
who was
joined late. Sorry for being late.
so if he can introduce, he's one of the most brilliant human beings on this planet, PhD in nuclear engineering, master's in nuclear engineering, undergrad in that area. He transformed Ford Motor Company. He recently left Medtronic, where he was I'm talking about him because I'm so proud of this guy. You know, I followed his career for years. Hey, Ken, I'm over jumping my chairman, but why don't you introduce yourself?
Thanks, Ty. Thanks, and great to see everybody. Nice to be on the call. As Ty mentioned, I recently retired from Medtronic. I was there for 2 years as their chief technology officer. I was their first chief technology officer. They asked me to help them organize their 12,000 person engineering team and help them move into the area of AI and digital. And so I did that, hired their first AI officer. I also was responsible for sustainability there and oversaw their R&D council and a number of other things. Before that, I was at Amazon. I created the world's first fully autonomous home robot called Astro. And before that, I was at Ford Motor Company for 7 years. And I first met Ty in the job I had before that, which was Lockheed Martin, where I was their head of research for their space business. And also worked for the legendary Joe Cleveland, who hired me at Lockheed Martin. So that's when I first met Ty and got involved with Bayer. So, I've had just a storybook 40-year career. And so felt good to retire last year. And now I'm doing philanthropic work, doing board work, and doing work with, I work on things that I want to, basically. So, and I want to help CCG.
And he's
so that's what I'm doing.
now he formally joined CCG
I did.
as an editorial AI consultant.
And I wrote my first article, my first media article. Yes. I went to the AI 4 conference in Las Vegas and wrote my first article. It was kind of fun.
Welcome, Ken. It's so good to see you, my friend.
Thank you.
And when I say he's one of the most brilliant people on the globe, I mean, I've met brilliant people in my career, and I'm not one of them, but I know brilliance when I see it. And no, seriously. And you are one of the most brilliant human beings on this planet.
Thank you, Ty. I'm humbled.
Dave, back to you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. We are at the 14-minute mark, and I know we don't have a whole lot of time earmarked for this session. So perhaps if we can just do a couple 30-second intros, and then we can move on to first order of business. If who's left? I think there's Crystal Porter. Maybe if you want to share a quick snippet, and then Mario and Nia, and then Christine.
Thank you, Dave. Good morning, everyone. Crystal Porter. I am a systems engineer at Leidos. I work primarily in the national defense and intel sector, solving complex challenges and problems, some things that we are aware of today going on in some of our conflicts, et cetera. And I'm also a full-time PhD student at the University of Virginia in that area of healthcare AI lifecycle systems. My purpose on the committee is the education part of it. Happy to be here, and I hope that's within my 30 seconds. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, Mario.
Mario Williams. I'm an engineer at Ackland, where I work with our aerospace and defense team. I manage our aerospace defense department, multiple streams across our country. I work with Kunle and Keith as far as getting our troops back to service. I'm also prior military United States Air Force, flying crew chief on the C-17.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
David, I'll be brief. Kunle Arolo with Actilent, aligned with Keith and Mario. And our efforts are very simple. It's veteran talent optimization, and that's the sole focus of our committee, and that's the work that I do within my organization here. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Good morning. Hi, everybody. My name is Nia Jetter, and I have worked in AI-enabled autonomous systems for over 25 years now. My first career was in aerospace, so spent a lot of time working on cool projects like GPS-2F and things like that, and then shifted to robotics. And so I was a senior principal at Amazon in robotics for just over 5 years before leaving recently to sit in the space of doing things that make my heart happy, including running a nonprofit that I've run for over a year now. We've been doing the work for over 5 years to make AI and emergent STEM accessible to everybody. So I travel the world doing that, have strong relationships with the United Nations and in Ghana, and also with different partnerships in the US as well. And we're getting ready to expand in Latin America. I'm trying to be brief. There's more I could say, but I'll leave it at that. Good to see everybody.
And I'll just say that's one of the other most brilliant people.
And I have to say, I'm really disappointed you didn't say hello.
Hi, Ken.
Good to see
I was
you.
trying to see if there was a way I could direct message you. So good to see you. It's been too long.
It's been too long. Good to see you.
And
Hey,
last but certainly
by
not
the
least-
way, I just wanted to say this. When the top African Americans at Amazon all came from after being awarded Black Engineer or Women of Color from Career Communications Group.
That's right.
All
you
of
know,
them.
Alicia
From
Bola Davis was at
Alicia,
Amazon.
all of you guys, after they took everybody. And by the way, I didn't get a penny out of all of that. Right? Some headhunter sat in the audience and took notes and took all of you folks and took you over and made millions of dollars. Right? All
But you know what's funny, Ty, is they did that, but then almost all of them are now gone.
And we're still here. You know why we're still here?
Exactly.
Because we have principles and we believe and we're building a future. That's why we're here and they're gone, because it was about money for them. It's never been about money for what we have a core belief in tomorrow. And that's why you guys, all of these all of this knowledge on this phone call, that's why you're here. David, back to you.
Thank you, sir. Last but certainly not least, Christine Burkett.
I'm just here to support in any capacity I can. My background is chemistry, technology, AI. I've been in the industry for over 20 years and I'm based out of Detroit, Michigan. So whatever I can do to help support, Doc knows he can always count on me to step up in any way. Oh, and by the way, Ken, I'm going to reach out to you personally. I'm working on a healthcare mobile app that I would love for you to take a look at before I present it to the state of Michigan and get their endorsement to roll it out.
Happy to do it. Just shoot me a note.
Thank
Do you have my personal email?
No, I will get that from Quan.
All right. I'll just put it in the chat. I don't care if everybody sees it.
Okay. Thank you.
Ready. So moving on, we're going to our second bullet point of the meeting. We will now review Q2 meeting outcomes as well as action items. So fiscal year 2026 is now focused on execution. The committee is moving from planning to implementation with a priority on building a workforce pipeline that connects education, industry credentials, and employment opportunities in AI, cybersecurity, and quantum computing. STEM City will remain a key strategic asset. So the platform will serve as the foundation for scalable curriculum delivery, AI-enabled learning, and workforce development pathways. Expanding adoption is critical to maintaining momentum and market leadership. Funding and partnership efforts are gaining traction. So progress does include Maryland Department of Labor, support for curriculum development, pursuit of federal funding opportunities, and growing partnerships across workforce, military, energy, and energy industry sectors. We have student engagement, which remains a challenge. Many students do lack the confidence and clear direction regarding technology careers. The committee must strengthen awareness efforts and create visible pathways from learning to employment. And just a brief little side note there, last year we actually did support a really amazing initiative. We were building out our own AI data center. I think many of the people on the call do know about it, called Diode. And it will be centered inside of our smart city that we're building called Project Candor, located on the south side of Chicago. So we are proud to say as an organization that we supported, I believe it was 8 individuals that were direct byproducts of STEM City, of CCG, of all of the various events that have been championed by Dr. Taborn. And we had an internship program that ran for 6 months, and those individuals walked away with a number of different credentials and a lot of real-world learning expertise that was championed by my team. So moving on from there, committee execution and accountability must improve. Success will depend on active subcommittee leadership, stronger business development and funding efforts, as well as consistent execution between quarterly meetings. This is important for all of our chairs to note. And I myself will be taking heed to this because one of my initiatives for 2026 going into 2027 is to begin recruiting more people for my energy and AI subcommittee. All right, so moving on, we have Dr. Taborn, who will review the conference and workforce LMS. So Dr. Taborn, I will now turn it over to you.
Thank you very much, and I will be brief in consideration of everyone's time. A couple of key points. In February, we laid out 4 or so priorities, and among those were dealing with curriculum in the 3 in the surrounding areas, which was Maryland, Virginia, and DC. We have, with the grant from the Department of Labor, we have developed curriculum for teachers to use in these 3 regions that align with the state of Maryland core concepts. So teachers can now download a student guide and a teacher guide to talk about curriculum in AI, quantum computing, and data security. Quan may be able to drop that in. We've also developed an online certification program that any teacher can take and receive a CCG certification piece. You know, hopefully at a later point with our new relationship with the University of Maryland Global Campus, that they will review that curriculum and be able to, you know, perhaps put a tag on. But we have developed that. The governor of Maryland has looked at it. Other people, they're all impressed with what we've been able to develop. It came in time because Maryland has now passed a law that teachers must develop or set curriculum for AI training in Maryland, and there's nothing they have except for what we have developed so far. Number 2, we talked about increasing, from February, we talked about increasing the awareness of AI opportunities. We have now incorporated our Women of Color Conference that generally is in October, and it is now incorporated into AI Next Gen Workforce Development Conference. I see this as the beginning of a Southwest by Southwest event for Maryland, the largest public-facing conference dealing with issues for the public about artificial intelligence that's taking place. So we're kicking that off this October. I think it comes at an appropriate time. As you know, the labor report today said 800,000 women have dropped out of the workforce. And part of that has to do, and The major hit has been on Black women, which is why we incorporated it there. The hit is because of government cutbacks, introduction of AI agents into the workplace that is replacing a lot of people, but 800,000 have dropped out of the workforce right now. So we have the conference coming up. The third piece that I want to report, all of you should have the link, Accent LMS. It is specifically designed to allow companies like Google, IBM, folks who have already developed curriculum can use our platform to push their curriculum to the general public. It is also designed to take all of our seminars and everything we've done over the years and allow training. So we are issuing different kind of certifications. So with that said, more will follow, but we have had a really good year. The final piece I want to remind everyone of, there is a $2 million earmark that is being really pushed hard by Senator Van Hollen. We really need folks to write and keep the pressure on Senator Van Hollen to fight this through. He has personally indicated to me that he is cautiously optimistic that this earmark supporting our work will get through, but he can't promise because obviously the Republicans are in charge of Congress. But Van Hollen is really committed to our work and the efforts we're making. So Quan can send that information over. Any little note to him, any call, well, it's helpful. Congressman Mfume called me yesterday, again, saying that he talked to Van Hollen. The pressure is on, and Van Hollen is completely behind us on this earmark. But it is $2 million, which really will make a difference. That's all I have, sir. Back to you.
You're on
You're on
mute.
mute, David.
Thank you very much. Just getting ready to fire off. So what I was saying is for the next topic, we will be addressing subcommittee reports and check-ins. First up, for Education Subcommittee, we have Dr. Crystal Porter. So if you would please share your findings with us.
Good morning. So right now, a lot of things are in the work. Just the last time that we spoke in, I was nominated to lead the committee. Now getting in, setting things up with folks of interest. I did reach out just recently right now to Dr. Burkett and also to Chris, and then also to Dr. Celeste Chamberlain. So this is in the works. Again, I don't have much of an update yet, but I expect to have something at the end of next week for you guys.
Thank you very much. Okay, so next up, we have the Veteran Subcommittee with Kunle. Kunle, would you please share?
Absolutely. David, thank you. So quick update for this group. It's very, very nice to meet those faces that I wasn't familiar with before, but I'm very, very proud to say with the help of Brother Keith and Brother Mario on the call, we've been able to really get the mission critical and clear on what we're looking to solve for. And that is being very, very intentional to get the non-commissioned officers and the junior enlisted, that is a E5 and below. And I'm still learning. But those individuals are the people that will fill the gap when we talk about STEM talent shortages and non-STEM talent shortages. We've got the resources. I've met with several organizations that have access to talent pipelines. We have also the resources, again, to map the talents of these individuals and represent them in, let's see here, 5 specific spaces. The architectural, engineering, construction vertical, the life sciences vertical, aerospace and defense, that has an asterisk on it, and I'll get back to that. And now, based on conversations with David Jones, we're probably looking at the energy space as well. So thank you, David, for that. And also with the work that we're doing with Brother Keith, we're looking at the biotech spaces as well. The goal is also simple. We want to be able to represent the talent in these spaces for the sake of moving from the theoretical to the pragmatic to say, hey, this is a possibility. And we're looking at 1,500 before the end of the year going to work represented in all of these spaces. And we want to be able to capture that in a newsletter so that people see it, they can touch it and feel it and say, oh, this is real and it's not just talk. That's the crux of it. And I want to come back to the aerospace and defense space because that's the ask of some of the leaders that are on this call today with some of the military leadership that are represented in the aerospace and defense space. We want to have those conversations and get those pilots off the ground. And when I say pilot, I'm talking about test cases, and not in the literal sense. But that's the crux of where we're at today, and I'm very, very proud of what we've been able to accomplish up to this point. Thank you, David.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, so who is up next? I am up next. So for Energy Subcommittee, I have a ton of updates, but I will keep it as brief as possible. So starting off, a few days ago, I had a really productive meeting with Brother Kunle, Keith, and Mario, where we talked about ways that we could help one another. And ultimately, we decided on the Wattberry Staffing Initiative, which I'll get into momentarily, which is kind of the pipeline we will develop. And this will be a great throughput for everyone to exercise their resources as well as their collective subject matter expertise. So across the United States, my organization, Lumina Energy, and its subsidiaries has launched what we're calling the Train, Employ, Build program. That is focused on a much larger initiative called Greenovate, which is a decarbonization program specifically designed to get workforce development training, create partnerships with governments around the world as well as locally, and ultimately build out new infrastructure and improve outdated infrastructure. So in doing so, we have Lumina Energy Academy, which is our trade school. And we're working with the state of Minnesota on a $20 million federal workforce development training program. We have already successfully trained our first 2 cohorts consisting of 30 individuals in various renewable energy positions such as solar installer, solar site surveyor, and then moving on into other fields. We have successfully issued 6 different types of certifications, 4 of those being nationally recognized. We also have successfully launched Wattberry Staffing, which is to my knowledge, the only clean energy-based staffing agency in America, and most certainly the only minority-owned clean energy staffing agency. So one of the gaps that we've been able to address as an organization is realizing that many people go through these programs across the United States, and ultimately they don't really walk away with anything other than a piece of paper and maybe some knowledge that will kind of dissipate into the ether. And we want to change that. So what we figured out is if we, own every segment of the pipeline, then we have full control over that. So on our behalf, we have individuals that go through the program, they get certified and trained, and then they are granted access to become part of this temporary staffing agency where they can either work on projects with my organization or with some of our EPC partners. So to further that development, we are also getting ready to launch the Wattberry web app beta. And so we're aiming for a mid-September release. And in doing so, individuals who are employed with Wattberry as temp staffers, they will now be able to connect on a job board where some of our EPC partners will be able to upload various jobs that are available, scout for new talent, so on and so forth. And as a kind of cherry on top, if you will, we've also signed a collective bargaining agreement with the local 944 union, which focuses heavily on general construction as well as electrical work. So individuals that go through our program will ultimately walk away with 6 certifications. They will have the option to become unionized, and we will put those individuals to work. So this is kind of where the community involvement and collaboration with so many esteemed individuals on this line kind of comes into play. So that's basically what we have going on currently. And as I mentioned earlier, for the rest of 2026 and going into 2027, I will personally be working on developing more partnerships, as well as working with more energy subject matter experts to get them to participate in our subcommittee meetings. So I just received a note moving on from myself that Dr. Charlotte Farmer, who is the chair of the AI Next Gen subcommittee, will not be here. Does anyone have any of her talking points or notes that they would like to share?
David, I can, but very quickly, what a lot of the work you're doing, and I know Keith and others, we fully expect a very tight partnership with the University of Maryland Global Campus. If we can agree that we will go to them first about some of this delivery and see how we can partner with their efforts, since they have an incredible infrastructure they can scale a lot of us up very quickly. That's one. Number two, I just saw that Dr. Eugene DeLoach just joined the call. He's our co-founder, and one of the reasons we're all here. Hey, Doc, are you there? Well, he was.
He's still on. You're on mute, sir.
Good morning. I thought I'd poke around in here and see what I had on my computer today, and here I found this. So I'm going to be, I'm a silent partner, and I need to touch base with you, Tyrone, at some point. So, all right, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Doc, for joining this, popping in on this. Dr. Farmer is leading the, as you know, she was the Chief Operating Officer of Underwriters Labs. She is now running the nominations committee for AI Next Gen in October. And her report is that they've identified a number of people for the Futurist Awards, and we will keep you guys updated as I get more information from her. But she's extremely involved and extremely committed to what we're doing. Back to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, so moving on, we have our grants and funding opportunities. So I'm going to pass the mic right back to you, Dr. Taborn. So if you would like to share a little bit about what's going on in that sector.
Well, the biggest issue I pointed out was the $2 million earmark that is now at the final part of the markup that Van Hollen has gotten us to. So the only thing between us and that $2 million is what happens with the Republicans. But it will be going forward in the appropriation bill. Van Hollen has said that he doesn't expect anything until after October. So as long as we keep writing him letters and his staff is there, I will tell you this, that everyone from the governor to many of our state senators and delegates that we've engaged, they're all in contact with Van Hollen. He does know that he feels the heat but I don't want to say that he's under pressure because he's already committed. But it doesn't hurt to have as much, it doesn't hurt him to have letters encouraging him to support this earmark. Let me put it that way. But he's absolutely committed. So it's not about putting pressure on him. It's about giving him more ammunition.
All set?
That's it, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay, so moving on, we have our committee priorities for Q4. So starting at the top of the list, we will accelerate curriculum adoption efforts. We will report progress toward securing adoption pilot programs or superintendent endorsements in Maryland, Virginia, and DC. We will review outreach results and remove barriers to district engagement. We will increase employer commitments and workforce placements. We will secure employer partnerships that lead directly to internships, apprenticeships, and hiring opportunities. And we will also align training and credential programs with documented workforce demand. We will then strengthen funding and revenue development, advance the federal funding strategy, including the $2 million earmark effort that Dr. Taborn just spoke about, alongside of expanding grant opportunities, sponsorships, and workforce development contracts. We will build awareness and enrollment pipelines, which is what I spoke on. We will address student uncertainty around AI and technology careers, increase learner recruitment through STEM City Ascend LMS, as well as workforce outreach campaigns and strategic partnerships. We will also improve committee accountability and execution by filling remaining subcommittee leadership gaps, establishing measurable KPIs, reporting dashboards, and quarterly scoreboards, and we will hold each subcommittee accountable for outcomes tied to Vision 26 objectives. Next up, we have the next steps and action item assignment. So we are to confirm owners and deadlines, review Ascend LMS platform, and comment by August 28th. So if everyone can jump on that, I believe if everyone on the call should have received an email. I know I did, so I'll be taking care of that this week. But if you didn't, please let Quan or myself or Doc know. We will also schedule subcommittee hearings to continue weekly on Fridays at 10 a.m. And Mrs. Hurst will champion that. We will then establish reporting expectations for next quarter. So it looks like we are at the bottom of our list. So in terms of closing remarks and adjournment, I don't think I have too many, but I will say that it is a pleasure to meet some new faces. And Mr. Deloach, I didn't know that that you were so closely tied in with CCG, so I would love to pick your brain when we hopefully see each other in person at one of the upcoming events. But otherwise, from my behalf, very grateful to be on this board. I'm grateful to be vice chair. And if there's anything that I can do to help anyone in their initiatives, my line is always open.
Dave, if I can just add a closing remark. Dr. Deloach and I started this dream more than 40 years ago. And he became the first dean, the dean for the College of Engineering. And everything that we do is based on that foundation of love, respect, and the growth of the really, and for the kids, which is what it was based on. So I'm glad he dropped in to see the fruits of, to continue to see the fruits of his labor, particularly in an environment that is as hostile, that is really designed to destroy everything we've built. And that is that, and when I say that, I'm telling you, this is the roughest battle that I've ever had in my life. And it's hard to believe that we're in a new reconstruction. where our kids will never understand or see the success.
Well,
And where companies that were our friends are understandably under so many attacks. But yet, I'm proud that BEA, the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, all are recruiting at BEA. Because if you need the talent, the only place you can go, one of the places you gotta go is BEA. Regardless of all of the nonsense you hear, they're all coming, they're all back. You know, I mean, we've just signed a major contract with the Army National Guard. Everybody loves BEA, and they just need different kind of cover in order to get back so that their lawyers aren't telling them the things to do. Lastly, I want to say I'm proud that the Bank of America, because of Linda Gooden, has contributed $150,000 toward our effort, and particularly to the AI event in October. So, sir, we're winning. We've got a lot of friends out there. Our mission is right. Our people are right. The direction is right.
and
So
may I add to that, Tyrone?
Sure.
Well, I got I went on email yesterday for the first time in a while. I will say this, folks. From what I was doing for a number of years, I've taken a back seat on that, and so the word is retired. But I'm looking at Tyrone, and this gentleman, we sat down a number of years ago and just put our heads together. But I'd say this, that for those of you, a lot of the names that I see here are kind of new names to me right now, because I have been, taking a little break, I guess, over the last couple of years. But I'm encouraging you folks to hang in there, to do what you can do from wherever you are, and you will not get a greater champion, a supporter, for every item or whatever you need to move forward on your contributions to this cause, than Tyrone Taborn. And so I want to congratulate all of you for picking up the ball. This was, as Tyrone says, a labor of love, fashioned over a lunch meeting. But he goes back to Cornell University and places like that, and we've been on the road a long time. So I want to say, just keep the faith and grind away. We're in a very interesting time in my life. I just passed my 90th birthday a couple months ago, and so I'm feeling good about what I see here. And I could just encourage you and this young man, David, you do your thing, man. Do your thing. Only good can come from this. And I hear what you said there, Tyrone, in terms of the potential for these young people that we have our hands on, and we're in touch with. So just do it. And then I see my good friend Ken. So look, hang in there, folks. What we're experiencing right now, this too shall pass, and we'll be on the right side of the issue. Thank you so much for doing what you do.
God bless you, Doc.
Thank you.
God bless you. I wouldn't be here without you.
Well, we need each other.
We do.
Okay.
All righty. David?
Thank you very much. Okay, so if there are any further closing remarks, the floor is yours.
Everybody have a great day.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. You guys have a wonderful day.
Alrighty, thank you all
weekend.
so much. Take care.